Ah, okay. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so today it's just going to be you and me. And when I say you, I mean you. I mean you, the viewers, who are joining me today on this Friday. What is today? Today is Friday, September 15th. A very beautiful Friday, I may add. Except for, well, to me, it's uh it's a very breezy, obviously fall type of weather. Even though it's not exactly sunny and blue sky out, I am just so fed up with the humidity that I am just absolutely thrilled with this weather. Um, Really, I am not a summer person at all. Definitely spring and fall. Give me those uh, transition seasons, and we're good to go. So yeah, so like I said, today it's just you and me today because Nita is on vacation and she's obviously having a really good time. So she was supposed to join me today, at least that was the idea. But she had a full day yesterday, and yeah, she just decided that it's just better off if she slept in. And I go, no, that's fine. I will just it's like I said, it's just going to be you, the chat, my eyeball people, and me doing the show today. So thank you so much for joining me. And I guess let's get this party started because I'm definitely not ready for this, but let's do it anyway. Hit it. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, here we are. Here we are. So hello everybody. Oh, hold on. Let me just can I fix my setting here? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Crop. There we go. Much better. Much better. So one thing I forgot to I'm sure there's plenty of things I forgot to check, but so let me see who's joining me today. Who's going to keep me company today? So Afrain is keeping me company today. Hello, hello, and Imaginos TV. Hello, good morning. Well, it's just me today. It's just me. And yes, and Jay Solano, thank you so much for joining me today. And yes, I see you, my beautiful eyeball people, also keeping me company here today on this Friday morning ish, this Friday brunch hour. So yeah, so like I said, Nita is on vacation. She is in New Jersey right now with Heather. They're hanging out, and like I said, she was originally supposed to come on in, and we were supposed to do a show normally, but like I said, she was just having such a good time in Atlantic City. And yeah, so you know what, let's let her sleep in. Because honestly, when she shows up here on Monday, we're not streaming. We're not streaming. So yeah, so this is going to be probably the last vlog you're going to see for the next couple of days, so might as well make the most of it, right? So yeah, so before Efrain rings the bell to remind me, although today would be the day to ring the bell to remind me to do my intros. Let's see. So, hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics. Oh my god. Stuff to talk about today. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Valar Morghulis.
Valar Duhairis.
Oh, especially after this morning. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2024 with the new story arc, Tears of the Mother, with a reissue of issues 1 through 5, plus the brand new issue 6 of this 8-issue limited series. And I am known for my mature audience's medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. For those that thank you everybody who pledged to the issue 7 campaign. I got word from my printer that I should be getting the books early, like probably Monday or Tuesday if all goes well, which means that the second I get paid, the second you guys are literally going to get your books. So thank you so much, everybody, for supporting the campaign. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, that's TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. And because I have no Nita to pass this on to, if you want to learn more about the Indie Comics Network, you can find everything. You can find everything at indiecomicsnetwork.com.
.com. Cut.
So Indie Comics Network is a YouTube channel that me and Nita, Nita owns and I help her, maintain and run it. And yeah, and we have all of these live streams and draw streams from various independent creators actually like doing their work, and showing off their indie creations on video. So if that's the type of thing that you like to watch, please head on over to indiecomicsnetwork.com. And yeah, like I said, just hit all the buttons to make the algorithm gods happy. So who else is joining us? Oh, hello, James. Hello. If I don't know what the title of the song is. It is something that actually Meredith found online and kind of like made it kind of like made it our own, I guess. So yeah, I don't know the name of the song. So hey Grant, hello. And Grant to say, wanted to let you know that I appreciated you being honest about Baltimore Comic Con. So tired of the whole put a smile on your face and pretend that the con didn't suck attitude. Yeah, no, I felt it was important to say, just to pretty much just say, I don't think I beat up on the show on Baltimore Comic Con too much. I don't think I beat up on it. I was just talking about like what my experience was and what I saw there. And it's like, and here's the thing. It's like, was it a bad show? Yes, it was. It was a bad show. It's like I said, I paid $300 for the table and barely cleared 100 on over that entire weekend because the audience was just split, and they didn't see the amount of people that they were expecting for whatever reason, whether they held it on the same weekend as SPX or the Orioles the Orioles Ravens game that was going on. I don't know. But the thing is, though, it's like, do I regret going there? No, I really don't. It's like we met a lot of people. We had a good time. I got to stay with my sister who's like 8 minutes away from the convention center. And it's like, look, sometimes it just is what it is. I am not going to do the show next year. If I decide to do a show next year, it's probably going to be SPX, but I'm going to wait a bit to see how everything goes before I decide on if I'm going to do shows again. Like I said, it's very tiring for me. I really am getting too old for that shit of going to conventions when especially these last couple of days, I have been learning a lot of things about Kickstarter and crowdfunding and what exactly is going on with my audience and and in crowdfunding space, and I really do get a better return of investment on my time staying home and hustling the crowdfunding than I am going to a convention. Like there would have to be a really really good reason for me to go to a convention nowadays. If for some bizarre reason, if for some reason I'm able to squeeze in, it's at New York Comic Con because I'm on their wait list for an artist alley table. That might be the next show that I'm going to, but more because Jose really wants to go there, and it is technically nearby. It's technically a local show. But again, it's like it's not something I'm looking forward to. Because if you thought going to an out-of-state convention is harrowing sometimes, try dragging your shit through the subways. It's not good. It is not cool. And even at our lightest, trade paperbacks weigh a lot. They really do. If you want to bring enough merchandise to even make going to a convention worth it, that craft gets heavy. So yeah, so it is something to really consider. I'm not going to discourage anybody from going to a convention because look, we know plenty of creators who actually do better at conventions than they do online. So, who am I to say that shit doesn't work? It's like obviously your mileage may vary. For me, I'd rather stay home. So that's where I stand on that. So, so remember, it's like, it's like everything that I talk about here, is from my perspective and how it worked out for me. So yeah, so it's like, so remember, it's like that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it or that you shouldn't do conventions, but really kind of like take into consideration all these things that that you do have to think about when deciding if you want to do a convention or not. um I mean, ironically though, I've been watching, these artist alley girlies that I'm watching. There's one who's in Britain and I am just completely fascinated by the idea of market stalls. I love, it's like it seems like in England they have like these like open air markets that for like $60, the equivalent of $60, you could kind of like rent a space for the day and sell your shit there. And I was like going, holy crap. I mean, that would have been really nice to have kind of like available in the United States. But I know in New York, it's like it's not really feasible. Like they don't like if there's like markets or something like that, they're very expensive. Um to get a dealer, like kind of like a rent a table. And even like the street fairs and whatnot, it's kind of like the same thing. These are not affordable options. On a previous show, Mike Jimmy had said, it's like, oh, you should really do Renaissance fairs. And it's like, bro, what you guys do in Europe and England obviously is different than what we do here, because that shit is expensive. And I mean, you think going to a convention, is kind of, expensive enough. I mean, those anything that has a booth is just, so yeah, so you just have to kind of like decide for yourself, like if like what kind of shows you're going to do, if it's worth doing, and really decide, it's like what's more valuable to you, your money or your time. And right now it's like, honestly, it's like it's yeah, it's the time for me. I mean, yeah, I don't want to spend the money, especially if we get the artist alley table at New York Comic Con. Hey Joe, how you doing? Hey, um especially if for some we luck out and get the table for a New York Comic Con. I think that's already that's like a $500 table. And, so that's why Jose said that he'll take care of that, because I'm ready to not pay that much. It's like, okay, fuck it. I don't want to be, but he's willing to do it. So it's like, okay, fine, we'll do it. But that's only if we actually get in. So, yeah. So, so the thing is, though, going to Baltimore and whatnot really made me rethink a lot of things that I was planning. But not by much, though. But the last couple of days, the last couple of days that I've been, since been back from the convention, it's like, one, has been very hard to get back into the routine. I mean, it really kind of like, I was on such a groove before the convention, and then afterwards I'm kind of like, dragging my ass. So like yesterday, I've decided I was going to work on another page, coloring another page for Eagle Raven, which issue 8. I'm almost done with it. I just have to put some finishing touches on it, and then it's like I'm 17 pages in, which is very nice for me. I would have liked to have been more, but that's just what it is. That's why you can't create a schedule so rigidly, because when things happen, you want to be able to maneuver your way through a schedule without feeling like you're falling behind. I mean, you're always going to feel like you're falling behind anyway. uh yeah, it's like a cost of doing business. Yeah, money, time, or both. Yeah, really. Whether a show is worth the expense to do. Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to spend the entire time talking about that, but if you have any questions, that's fine. Like I said, it's just me and the chat today. Nita's in Jersey hanging out with Heather. She's having a good time. And you know what? In the end, it was best that she sleep in, rather than, kind of like force herself onto a show. So it's like, so yeah. So if you have any questions you want me to answer about the show or anything, just go ahead. And like I said, we have, we have this space to kill. So this hour. So I was rethinking. Good morning, Mike. I see you. Yes, hello. So yeah, so it made me rethink a lot of things. Like, one, it made me definitely rethink doing more conventions, and I go, you know what? Maybe no, that's not a good idea. But like I said, it did reinforce that me staying home and concentrating more on my online presence is more worth it for me than going to conventions. And this, for the past couple of days, this really, really, really enforced that. So I started playing around with BackerKit. BackerKit, they're kind of like a back end platform for Kickstarter, where they handled like pledges, and they also allowed people to, like, when your campaign closes, people could still buy your stuff afterwards. You're kind of like buying through a store on BackerKit. So they created their own crowdfunding platform, I guess, to compete with Kickstarter. And I haven't tried the crowdfunding aspect of it, but there are a couple of things on the back end that kind of intrigued me enough this week for me to finally kind of give myself a crash course on learning BackerKit, because I've always heard that, BackerKit is tedious. It's like, once it's a lot of tedium, but once you get over that, then it's like really easy to use and whatnot. And it's true. It's very true. However, the tedium comes with, if you want to do kind of like their pre-order store, like say your Kickstarter campaign ends, and you can launch a pre-order store to get all the stragglers who missed your campaign. And you can have this store open for like a month or whatever. You can actually set the amount of time. Thank you, James. Thank you. Yes, smash that like. Thank you. So yeah, so it's setting up that store. That's the tedious part, because you have to manually put in all your items. So if you have a campaign with a crap ton of items, that's the tedious part. Luckily, I had help from Rob Moltari. I was bothering him for a couple of days when I started using BackerKit. Like, what the f? What is this? This, that, and the other thing. And he walked me through it. Thank you very much, Rob, for the help. And I kind of finally got it. Especially yesterday morning, where it's like there was a couple of glitches I couldn't figure out how to fix, and then I figured out how to fix them. Well, because I was also bothering the people at BackerKit too. I was going back and forth with them. So the thing that really surprised me was, so what BackerKit does is that it takes all your data from Kickstarter and aggregates it in one place. And I was really surprised to the kind of reality of our Kickstarter path. Because like it's I combined my accounts with Jose's account, so all our accounts are in this one BackerKit account. So between me and Jose, I think in the past 8 years, we've run 47 campaigns. And we raised together $74,000 with 1,030 backers. And I was like, really, like that information kind of made me stop, because it's like, holy shit, it's like here we are kind of like, we're so focused on how we were performing on the one campaign of the moment that we forgot to pull out. Well, to see the information in total. But the thing is, though, it's not that that was easy to do on Kickstarter, so it's like, unless you sit there and manually do it. And even then, it's like, it doesn't account for duplicates. BackerKit does. So BackerKit took all our backers, combined all our backers, and it's like, and they gave us, this is how many people backed your campaigns, your 47 campaigns. And not only that, but it also gives me a list of who our top backers are and how much money they've spent. I mean, it was like pretty interesting information. I think that if you've been running yeah, you caught that, right? You caught that. It's you know, it's like, if you've been doing Kickstarters for a while, I mean, just to sign up for BackerKit, like everything is free up until you need to do certain things. So you can open up a BackerKit account and get all your information. You import in all your campaigns from even if you have multiple accounts. That was the thing that was really convenient. If you manage multiple accounts, you can bring in all those campaigns and you can see what kind of overlap your different accounts have. And yeah, and it's just like, really, I found it really eye-opening. And because of that, it started to make me rethink other things. So before, I was thinking more about, okay, I have to kind of build up more my social media presence and this, that, and the other thing. What this information actually told me, it's like, no, you stupid bitch, it's your mailing list. It's not Facebook. It's not YouTube. It's not, it's your mailing list. And we've spoken about mailing lists before, where it's like, the mailing list is, no matter where you are, the mailing list is the foundation of what you do. Your mailing list. You can have the best comic in the world, but no one will know about it if you don't have those initial people to start off with. Now, granted, Kickstarter is a good place to start building your mailing list, because the way the algorithm works, even a first timer can start collecting that information, can start building an audience there, and then getting them onto a mailing list. It's even easier if you use BackerKit along in conjunction with it. So yeah, so it was just like, just seeing this information kind of made me realize, like, hey, you know what? We're actually not doing that bad. I mean, granted, it would have been nice to have made that 74,000 maybe in one shot or over the course of a year, kind of like at the same time, instead of kind of like the small drips that we've been getting at. But it does show you how the effort does build up over time. It really, that's what it reminded me, that that it's like, yeah, it's very easy to get focused on like say your last couple of campaigns and kind of lament. That's like, oh, why am I backsliding? Why am I not seeing this many people? Why am I not growing? It's like, I don't understand. Now I kind of do, because it's like, looking at these numbers, it's like, wait a minute. It's like, combined, we literally have more backers. I mean, it's like, these are literally, and here's the thing, this is a hot list. Okay? These are people who bought our books. So it's like, technically, these are the most valuable people that we could have the attention of. These are already people who've bought our books. They've put their money, they've shown their interest and put their money where their interest was, in our books. So, but the ironic thing about it is that here I am sitting on a list of 1,030 people, but I'll be lucky if any of my Kickstarters is like, gets 150 of them, right? Isn't that weird? So it's like, so where's the disconnect? Where is it that, how is it that I have literally this many people who have a direct interest in my book, in my books, in our books, but when the Kickstarter actually runs, I can only get like a percentage of them, right? So that's where the mailing list comes in. So Joe is saying, means sends emails to keep them going and engage with them, right? And that's the thing. So that's where it's like, that's where, so here I was about to put all my focus on social media, which you need to do anyway, right? But I have to handle the cracks in my foundation first. That's what I have to patch those up first. So what I've been doing this morning, so I have a MailChimp account, right? So what I've been doing pretty much for the bulk of the morning, I'm kind of halfway through the list, is I've been cross-referencing my backers from the BackerKit list, from the aggregated BackerKit list, and cross-referencing them with my MailChimp account. And actually, it was Rob that said that he did this, that what he does is that for his MailChimp account, that he segments his mailing list so that he separates everybody who also supports them on Kickstarter, so that when he contacts his Kickstarter people through BackerKit, they're not getting duplicate emails through MailChimp. Which I really liked, because it's like, the weird thing, kind of like the thing about having a mailing list, is that we say, these are people who signed up to be notified when you do things, but at the same time, we don't want to annoy them, with like, I like, there was like, as much as I enjoy the Daily Stoic, right, where every day they were sending an email, every day they sent an email. Even though I wanted to read that, I put myself on that mailing list. What I found is that I couldn't handle daily emails. It was just way too much coming in for me to keep up with. So I ended up unsubscribing. Not that I really wanted to, but I just couldn't keep up with it. So what I need to, so what I'm doing is, like I said, I'm segmenting my mailing list. And then I'm sitting here thinking about, okay, how do I make this work? What is it with my mailing lists do I have to do? To really engage this audience, and that's kind of where my mind is at now. So there's the book, the 1 hour content plan, that I can't stop talking about, that I still like to thank Tyler Carpenter for recommending this book. So what I'm going to try to do is kind of like mix in what she talks about in the book, but in an email setting. So right now I have all my exercises done in, to work on social media, to work on YouTube and Facebook, and, especially YouTube, that where I want, that's the other platform that I want to build up, but the thing that really gets me procrastinating on that is that YouTube videos require so much more work and planning. But that's the thing. I just have to actually get to the planning part. Like, I know what the next, like, I have to choose a video, probably start with the easiest video on the list, and kind of do like a snowball effect on it. If for those of you who are not familiar with Dave Ramsey, he's one of these financial guys on TV and whatnot. And I remember reading one of his books years ago, and he talked about, like, you pay off debt by using a snowball effect. You pay off your smallest debts first, so that it gives you that sense of accomplishment, and then it encourages you to keep going. So, and it's like, and you get the smaller bills out, and, and then it's like you start really hacking away at the big ones. So that's kind of what I have to do with my YouTube channel. I have to go on the list that I created as to all the videos I want to make, and pick out the easiest ones to do. So, and do those, and then build up to like more complicated videos. I spoke about it on Wednesday. If you missed my Wednesday draw stream, where I talked about how I wanted to like experiment with a particular type of vlogging. Like, it's kind of like what the Artist Alley girlies do. Like, they're kind of doing like a studio vlog / lifestyle, but this would be more like, for me, it would pretty much be what I do in this space. You guys don't need to see me brushing my teeth and eating pizza, which technically I can't eat anyway because I'm lactose intolerant, but that's besides the point. Like, you don't need to see that part. But when it comes to like how I do my book and my thought process, and and I still want to do this Etsy thing. That's something that I still like. So does that mean do less live stream or clip up the live streams for shorts? Well, I mean, what I was trying to get into the habit of, which it didn't happen, like I said, I have to schedule myself more, is to you clip segments for shorts. Because also, if you're looking to get monetized on YouTube, they actually encourage you to make shorts. You need like 1 million views. No, was it 10 million views on shorts to be eligible for monetization. And on shorts, it's actually pretty easy. It sounds like a lot, but actually it's kind of, if you put out enough shorts, you can kind of build up with that. You can kind of build up that 10 million views really, really quickly. It's just that I just stopped. I kind of started doing it, and then I stopped doing that. It's like I didn't really get enough to get into the momentum of making shorts on a regular, but that's, I want to kind of, like I said, I want to work on this foundation first before I start noodling with all these kind of like side quest things. Because I get very easily overwhelmed, and it's like, decision paralysis is a huge problem for me. So it's like, this is where I need to focus on one thing, do that thing, and then move on to the next thing. And in this case right now, it's cleaning up my mailing list, organizing my mailing list, and making and kind of like making a plan for what exactly I'm going to do with my mailing list. It's like, am I going to send, it's like, is it a good idea for me to send out emails once a week? I mean, probably at most that's what I should do. I mean, obviously, I should be sending something on my mailing list once a month. That's at least, but it's like, but like no more than 4 times a month, so it's like, and I have to kind of schedule around that, um, that idea. Also, Joe, to kind of clarify something, actually, what it is that YouTube prioritizes like edited videos over live streams. So so from what I'm seeing, if you actually want to see traction on your YouTube channel, um you need a mix of both. From what I keep hearing, the edited videos are the ones that you use to attract in that cold audience. So it has to be very specific content that you do, and then the live streams is how you keep engaged with your warm audience, the audience that's staying with you and they want to be able to interact with you more. And so it's like you need a combination of both. If all you do is live streams, then yeah, you either need to start adding edited videos to your catalog, or you have to kind of like back off on live streams in order to fit in edited videos. So that's something that I have to figure out as well. I have to actually plan out this stuff. Because when left to my own devices, I won't do anything, so that's why, so that's why, it's like I have to, like, okay, I have to actually plan this out, the calendar style and everything. What am I supposed to do this month? What am I supposed to accomplish this month? Actually, one of the things that I think that I really need to start doing is holding my daily schedule to an actual work schedule. That's the one thing that I kind of like see, like, with these more successful, people that I watch on YouTube, is that they have a work schedule. Even though technically I'm in this office the entire time, it's not a very organized work schedule. It's like I take as long as I need to do things. I take breaks whenever I want, and sometimes it's like, and it sounds like a good idea, but then it's like you kind of realize that it's like, what, if I actually scheduled myself like this, really, like this is a real office, like I have to work from such amount of time, give myself an hour for lunch, and then go, and then it's like not do anything else, like literally treat it like if I was going to an office. um and it's like, if I probably need to do that so that I can really concentrate my time. What's that theory that it's like, any work that you do, like, whatever, like work can be done in exactly the amount of hours you give it. So it's like, no matter what job you have, if you have 3 hours, if you give yourself 3 hours to do it, it'll take 3 hours. If you give yourself 6 hours to do that same job, it'll take you 6 hours to do it. So, yeah, so it's like the job, you can literally stretch out a job, um to whatever amount of time you want to dedicate to it. And it's like, well, the opposite is true. If it's like, it's like, if I know that, well, optimally I could do a page in an hour, then why am I giving myself 3 hours to do a page when I'm probably better off condensing my time, doing that page in an hour, getting that page over with, and then being able to move on to the next thing on my schedule, instead of like, oh, it took me 3 hours to do that thing, but I was doing a lot of fucking around on that, during those 3 hours too. So I probably need to do that as well on top of everything else. But right now, what I'm doing, like I said, I'm just cross-referencing my email with my Kickstarter list, with my Kickstarter backers. And yeah, and it's like, and I'm just sitting here kind of like, because also what that allows me to do too is that it allows me to do different emails for people that I know for a fact are backers. And then it's like, okay, so these are the people who are on my mailing list but haven't really committed, and it's like, okay, what do I do for these people? Like I think that my mistake is that I was treating everybody on my list the same. And it's like, and that's kind of like one of the stupid things that I have a habit of doing, is that if I don't know what to do with something immediately, I kind of let it rot on the vine. That's kind of explains what happened to my Patreon. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, so I just pretty much like low key abandoned it. It's like I just didn't know what to do with it. So it's like, I just like, okay, I'm not going to do anything with it. And I kind of allowed myself to do the same thing with my mailing list. It's like, it's bad enough I wasted 10 years not adding to that mailing list while we were kind of like, in between that time between we got kicked out of Diamond, and well, Tall Tales at least got kicked out of Diamond, and when Kickstarter came about, like there was like kind of like this gap, and it never occurred to me. It's like, you know what, I still should have been, collecting emails in that time, but I didn't, because again, I didn't know what to immediately do with it, so I just let it rot. And I was kind of like back to doing that again with the mailing list, until this whole backer kit information kind of lit a fire under my ass. So it's like, yeah, okay, so now I have like a better focus on what to do with these people. What do I do with you people? What is it that, what is it that, it's like, what is it that you want to see from me from a mailing list? It's like, because the funny thing about MailChimp, right? Because usually what they recommend is that you delete everybody who hasn't opened your previous emails, which is a lot of people, which is on my MailChimp list is more than 60%. I would have lost 60% of my mailing list had I have done that, until I found out from a couple of people. It's like, yeah, we don't open your emails, but when we get your email and we see in your title that you have another Kickstarter running, we just go straight to your Kickstarter. And it's like, oh, okay. So I didn't. So so in the end, what I started doing was making sure that my title says exactly. It's literally the too long didn't read. If you're not going to read this email, I'm going to tell you exactly in the title what's going on. And then it's like, there's a Kickstarter running. There's a Kickstarter for this. There's X amount of days left, and to go to Kickstarter anyway. So, so at least I was able to save a lot of. I was able to save my mailing list by realizing that might be why people are not opening my emails. But and then it's like yeah, it's just just trying to like and then it's like there was something that Nita had also said to me too, that was also been kind of like bothering me, only because it's like I'm not sure like what even to do with this information. So we use a lot of Bitly links, because you're able to track like how many people are clicking on your links and whatnot. So I don't have the paid version, but it'll just tell you like, oh, like X amount of people, this link has X amount of clicks on it. So she had said on one of my previous campaigns, one of the previous Ego Raven campaigns, that I had gotten the link had 11,000 clicks on it. And I'm like going, what the fuck? You know? And then she said that one of Jose's previous Oswald links had 18,000 clicks on it. And, you know, and of course my question is that, wait a minute. I mean, here we are thinking that our biggest problem is not, we're not getting eyes on our stuff, right? That we can all kind of like agree on that we're not, you know, it's like that was a thing that we always think it's all about, you know, success on crowdfunding is all about getting eyes on our stuff and nobody's seeing our stuff. And how do we break through the noise? Okay. If you're getting 11,000 people looking at your page, you know, I mean, now the question is like, well, obviously I have no problem getting 11,000 people to look at my Kickstarter. Now the question turns into what's happening between them clicking on the link, looking at my Kickstarter, and deciding, like, they were interested enough, right? When they see the image and the blurb and whatnot, you know, whatever, wherever they saw the Bitly link, you know, it's not like they just see the link and they're randomly clicking on links. There's an image, there's little information about, you know, what the book is and this, that, and the other thing. So they were interested enough to click the link. What happened between that moment and when they saw the Kickstarter that they decided they weren't going to follow through, that they weren't interested enough to pledge? And that became my big question, right? It's like, because then it's like, look, 11,000 people saw my stuff. I am obviously not having a problem getting eyes on my stuff. You know, the fact that I you know, it's like BackerKit aggregated my backers and we have a total of 1,030 backers. But I'm lucky if I can get 150 backers on my campaign. So where's the disconnect? Where am I? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So it's like, obviously eyeballs is not the problem. You know, when Jose's link, the Oswald link, gets 18,000 people clicking on it. You know, eyeballs are not the problem. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the thing that kind of like gets me. It's like, okay, so what's where's that disconnect happening in that 30 seconds it takes for them to click on the link and see the Kickstarter and decide, oh no, I changed my mind? You know, is it because we're talking to people who don't know how to use Kickstarter? Because that's also something that I started doing on my campaigns, where it's like I have a section on, oh, if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, here's a set of instructions on how to do it. You know, I mean, what's funny is that I thought it was stupid when I was seeing that shit on other people's campaigns very early on. You're on Kickstarter. Why are you explaining people on Kickstarter, already on Kickstarter, how to use Kickstarter? Duh. Again, stupid bitch. You're not explaining it to people on Kickstarter. You're explaining it to people looking at your Kickstarter. Hey, Michael. Hello. You know, so again, kind of getting wrapped up, you know, in details that really kind of makes you miss the point. BackerKit, where did you get that information about your views again? BackerKit. Open up a free BackerKit report. Import in all your campaigns from all, even if you have different accounts, and you get this information. And it's like, it completely changed my thinking as to where I should be putting my focus. You know, because it's like, I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, now it's just like, yeah, so that's like kind of like another thing that I'm trying to figure out, that it's like, okay, I am getting eyeballs on my stuff, but why are they not converting? What is it like how can you be interested enough to click the link but not interested enough to follow through? I mean, it's like, so. Oh, and just to give everybody a heads up, because this happened recently, because also I think that this is a way I really, really like this update that Kickstarter did. Honestly, I think I like this better than all like putting in all the images. So what Kickstarter did was that they updated their user interface so that when a campaign is live, if you use headlines in your scroll, they turn into clickable links on the side, kind of like a table of contents. So I'm really excited about this, because what I was able to do, because I like using headlines anyway, but to be able, so for somebody going to a campaign, go to any campaign right now. Right. Actually, we might be able to see it. I'm gonna show off I'm gonna show off some campaigns in a minute. But go to a campaign right now and look at the side, and it's all the headlines. And what's really cool is that if you do your headlines correctly, you can make clickable links to everybody who's coming to your campaign, and they could just skip to the parts that they want to see. If they want to see just the variant covers, just have a headline there saying, "Oh, see variant covers," and they could just click on that and go straight to your variant covers. So if you have like a really, really long ass scroll, like I'm going to have on my next campaign, if you have a really long ass scroll, you now have a shortcut on the side. Now, also, just remember that that list doesn't scroll. So whatever appears on the screen, those are the links that people see. So anything that goes, if you have more that goes past that, they don't see those links until they physically scroll. So like really limit the amount of headlines that you use to make those jump points so that they stay on the screen. So yeah, but I'll see if there's I'll show it to you when I show the campaign. So yeah, your mailing list. It turns out that your mailing list, oh hey Allison, hey there. So it turns out that your mailing list really is the foundation of everything that you do for a campaign. And it is to your detriment if you let that founder. It's like, you know what? Don't neglect your mailing list. It's like that's really, oh hey Rob, we were just talking about you. In a good way though, in a good way. So yeah, so your mailing list really is the foundation of everything that you do. If you don't have a mailing list, you're going to have a hard time. You're just adding, you're really going to have a hard time. And and it's like, yeah, so now it's like that's where my focus is right now, taking that information and actually doing, something with it. And here's the thing, I've already done a couple of things with it, and I've already began seeing dividends. Now, how that translates to when the campaign actually goes live is a different issue. That's a completely different thing, because it's like, you know, so it's a different thing. So it's like baby steps. It's always baby steps. No matter what you do, it's always baby steps. It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm ready to put on my I'm ready to put on, the big boy shoes, and just stomp all over the place. But no, everything is always a baby step. So so here we are, really close to the top of the hour. So let me just share my screen here. So yeah, so let me just do that. No, we're not going to do that, and we're going to do this. Okay, there we go. So we are going to do this. So yeah, so just to remind everybody, speaking of all these beautiful campaigns on Kickstarter, I just want to remind everybody that Eager Raven, Medieval Unicorn, Viking Slut, the 3 comics short set, the Eager Raven Conan parody, nobody asked for, but you're getting anyway, is on Kickstarter in pre-launch right now. Thank you so much to the 88 followers who decided to get notified when the campaign goes live. Just so everybody knows, also, why should you click on the link now instead of waiting for it to go live? Well, because you might forget. At least this way, Kickstarter will send you an email the second the campaign goes live. And not only that, you'll be able to make sure that you don't miss out on a 24-hour special that I have. I'm going to have an early bird special on the campaign where you can pick up all 3 books and save $10 off the full price that it's supposed to be, that's going to be once the 24 hours end. So for 24 hours only, you will be able to get Eager Raven, the Unicorn King's Daughter, Eager Raven, the Tales from the Outer Kingdom, and Eager Raven, Medieval Unicorn, Viking Slut, the adults only supplement. You can get all 3 of these books for, you can save $10 off their combined price for 24 hours only. So make sure you click the notify me button so that you get notified when the campaign goes live. The campaign, which will go live on September 25th. Oh, and with this campaign, we also have a sister campaign that you can also hit notify me for. A Sky of Thorns, an epic fantasy romance special edition. It is a 3-volume. It's the first volume of a 3-volume fantasy romance novel series. And it's like when you're asking, Daphne, what's a sister campaign? Well, we are doing a collaboration together. I am doing a collaboration with Krista Crawford on her campaign, Sky of Thorns campaign. She will have as a stretch goal a print that I did, an exclusive print that you could only get on her campaign by helping her unlock the stretch goal. You will be able to get that print if you just support her campaign. However, if you support both our campaigns, there is going to be a separate special collaboration print that you will get as well if you back both campaigns. So winner, chicken dinner. Either way you support the campaigns, you will get a print from me. But if you want to collect both of them, you have to pledge to both campaigns, to both Medieval Unicorn, Viking Slut, and Sky of Thorns. So make sure all the links are in the show notes for that, for everything that I'm going to talk about. Next up is Magi's Grace, Sex and Monsters, the collaboration book between J.D. Calderon and C. Michael Lanning. It is a 4-issue limited series about a pair of monster hunters who are sent on a mission to find out what's going on in a sleepy New England seaside town with strange goings on going on there, because that's where they always go. And so this is the first issue of the limited series. So thank you so much to the 69 backers. Ooh, a very sexy 69. All our very sexy 69 backers on this campaign. Now, the thing that I told you about, because I guess Jose doesn't use headlines, I guess, which here is where all your headlines will show up as clickable tags on your campaign. So like I said, you have to do it. You see how it stops scrolling here? So what you want to do is when you want to do your headlines so that it fits in this space, it doesn't go off more than this, so that scroll, so while your people are scrolling, that yes, Rob, yes, back on Sky of Thorns, she will have an audiobook tier. She has an audiobook tier. And yes, and I know I need to get my shit in gear to do an audiobook, finally do an audiobook of the prequel as well. But yes, she will have an audiobook tier. So yeah, so put your headlines here so that it's clickable links. So no matter how long your scroll is, people will be able to have to just jump to where they want to get the most information from. And yeah, like I said, I really, really like this option. So yeah, so if you're running a Kickstarter now, or you have a Kickstarter coming up, take advantage of having that menu on the side. So yes, Magi's Grace. Like I said, all the links are in the show notes below. Speaking of audiobooks. The Lusty Dragon Mistress. This is from our very own Nina Aberlein. 3 days to go. Thank you to the 150 backers. Oh, you're so close to 10 grand. Can she get the 10 grand in 3 days? A lot can happen in 3 days. So this is obviously an adults only comic book that actually comes in several different formats depending on how you prefer to read it. It comes in the original scroll, so you can read it on your phone, kind of like webtoons. So it comes as that. It also is available as a regular comic, and it's also available. I really have to give her props for this. It is also available as a visual, as kind of like a video novel, like a video edition, which I guess in this case would kind of be an audiobook, but with a lot of parts with no words in it. Let's just say that. So yeah, so if you're into either reading it as a scroll, reading it as a comic, or actually listening to it, and while watching the, kind of like the partially, and it's also, I think it's also partially animated as well. So you have that option as well to pick up this book. So yeah, so 3 days to go for Nina Aberlein's The Lusty Dragon Mistress, #1. So yeah, so that's also in the link. And last but not least, our it's like, look, it's like I said, Rob Bultari helped me a lot with getting through Backer Kit. So, of course, I'm going to show off his campaign as well. Wolfpack Pups, a Halloween trick-or-treat tale book and plush. Jose bought the plush on a previous campaign, and the shit's adorable. You guys really need, it's like this big. It's not that big at all. We thought it was going to be like one of these, but it's no, it's really, really nice. So Wolfpack Pups is actually a kids version of Nightwolf. And it's a kind of like, and it's like, if you want to get something that makes like kind of like a nice Halloween ish basket, I guess, something, a nice Halloween gift for your kids. This is actually pretty cool. Like I said, that plush itself, it's like, but it's a really, really cute book. And he has, thank you to the 110 backers, 5 days left to go on this campaign. It's like, look, it's really cute. Everybody knows a kid in their life that would enjoy this. So, go ahead, and pick one up, and maybe keep the plush for yourself, or not. Buy a second plush that you can keep the plush for you, and then give the set. But you know what I mean. But it's like, yeah. So like I said, the link is in the show notes below for the campaign, Wolfpack Pups. So yeah, so there we have it. Those are the campaigns of the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on this, in this very, I don't know. It's like, you know what? You guys had me talking the entire hour. So I can say it was a success. Right. So, so thank you everybody for joining me today and keeping me company on this Friday. Thank you so much to all the eyeball people who stayed the entire hour. Thank you so much for also keeping me company as well today. Like I said, we will probably most likely not be having a vlog. Actually, you know what? The answer is no. The answer is will not be having a live stream on Monday. Nita and Heather are going to be coming on Monday. They're going to be heading this way, and we're gonna go out and have a good time. We're gonna get some truck falafel. We're gonna have some mochi. We're gonna have just gonna have a really good time on that Monday. So you know what? So you guys get to miss out, but you know what? Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. And also, most likely, I'm not going to be having a Wednesday stream as well. But if everything goes correct, if everything goes well, we should be back on Friday. Actually, but I'm not gonna make a promise on that either. You know what? Just assume we're not running any shows this upcoming week. Just assume it'll just be easier. Just be easier if we do that. But let's assume we're not. It's like, you know what? When we run a show, you'll know. That's what it is. See, that's why you really do need to be subscribed. Not only be subscribed to the channel, but hit the notification bell so that when we do decide to finally go live, it's like we're going live. You get to know. But yeah, that's so that's pretty much it for me. I have a lot of things to do today, but like I said, thank you everybody for thank you thank you everybody for coming. So there's nobody for me to ask if you have any final thoughts. If you have any final thoughts, just put it in the chat while I go on with the rest of the outro. And if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my upcoming campaigns and everything else, you're going to head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember, I'm also on YouTube for all my videos and semi-weekly art live streams, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Remember, pretty much this next week, we're not running anything, but I will be back the week after with, again, my semi-weekly art live streams. And if you want to see what those live streams are about, there's a playlist in both our channels where you can catch up on any of the shows that you missed. Remember that you can also read Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. Thank you so much again, everybody. And because I'm by myself, in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time. hit the wrong button.